In one piece.
At this time, we'll call the December 19th, 2025 meeting of the Wilson County Planning Commission into order. Anyone wishing to give testimony before this board today, if you would, please stand and raise your right hand. I hereby affirm the testimony I give today to be the truth, so help me God. Please say I do. I do. Thank you. We need to approve the minutes from the November 21st meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve from Mr. Renfro, second by Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. The first order of business on our agenda today was deferred from November 21st. Christopher?
That application has actually been amended and resubmitted below, so that particular request was withdrawn from the deferral. They're back on the new business agenda with their amended request.
So no action required on our behalf, correct?
No, sir, that has been withdrawn. I do have a letter from the applicant. It's item number 5 on yours. It's the preliminary at Cedar Hollow. That applicant has requested deferral till the January meeting. That item is on there for discussion purposes only. He wanted to further discuss with the Planning Commission the stub out requirement that was required on his particular development. But he's requesting that be deferred till the January agenda.
We'll just do that when we get to it then. Okay. I do, subject to Christopher's okay on this, I do want to move the resolution to amend the zoning ordinance to the end of our meeting, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's sir.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we move that to the end of the meeting. We'll have a second. Second from Mr. Noakes. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion will carry. And we'll start with the rezoning, Christopher.
Alrighty, the first rezoning is an application has been made by Josh White of ASM Land Surveyors, representing property owners Matthew and Candace Mooney, requesting to rezone the property from A1 agricultural to R1 rural residential. The property contains approximately 7.86 acres and is located at 4560 Benders Ferry Road and is further referenced as parcel 50 on Wilson County Tax Map 28. The Wilson County Land Use Plan calls for low-density residential development in this general area. R1 rural residential density fits this description. The difference in number of lots realized on this property, if other lot width and bulk requirements can be met, is a consideration when evaluating the difference in current A1 zoning and what is being proposed with the R1 rural residential. Using the formula found within the Wilson County zoning ordinance to calculate potential density, the proposed R1 zoning could allow as many as 8 single-family residential lots on the property. The current A1 zoning would allow as many as 4 lots by calculation. In this instance, these numbers would be dependent on each lot being laid out to have adequate road frontage and define the soils areas to have standard septic systems on each lot, notwithstanding site-specific limitations. Staff will note that this development does have road frontage on Benders Ferry Road. Wilson County Road Commission and the County Regional Planning Commission will require improvements to Benders Ferry Road at the time of the actual subdivision development if additional infrastructure is to be added. And in this case, it would probably just be right-of-way dedication for the amount of lots that would be proposed. Staff also needs to note that there are 4 large residential developments that directly impact Benders Ferry Road and are all on different stages of development. Those are the Wells Farm and Willow Landing off Mays Chapel that the county has approved, and there are infrastructure requirements that have been required with these developments as far as access. There are also 2 other developments within Mount Juliet city limits. These are noted for you as all 4 of these developments combining to be over 750 lots, all access Lebanon Road via Benders Ferry Road. There are known issues at the access point onto Lebanon Road at Benders Ferry, and infrastructure improvements are already warranted at Lebanon Road. At this intersection, it is currently only 2 lanes. There's an eastbound lane and a westbound lane. This needs to be considered in evaluating adding additional density beyond what is used by right onto these roads prior to improvements being made. Staff has made this rezoning request available to executive representatives of the school system and copies of the rezoning request available to emergency services. The proposed rezoning is within the Station 4, Saundersville Road, and Station 6 on Old Legardo Roads 5-mile ISO response zone for fire and emergency services. The County Stormwater Department has requested that the applicant, Planning Commission, and other interested parties be notified that the presence of sinkholes, caves, wetlands, and streams in land areas that are extremely flat, marshy, or steep may affect the development of the tract and the total number of lots realized through subdivision development. As an additional point of information, this rezoning does not appear to be near any Century Farms, according to information on file in the planning office. With the above statements made, this request does conform to the 2006 land use plan adopted by the county, and the request overall would have little impact on the surrounding area. However, with the known issues that already warrant traffic improvement at the Lebanon and Benders Road intersection, staff cannot recommend approval until some improvements have been made.
Thank you, sir. Are you sure to represent this case today? Please come forward, state your name for the record.
Josh White, here on behalf of Matt and Candace Mooney.
Okay. Anything in addition to what Mr. Lawless has told us you want to share with us, sir?
Just for the rezone, so the Moonies had back when, several months ago when A1, when you could divide into 40,000 square feet, they went through the work of having the soils evaluated and all that. In the middle of that, we changed back to 80,000, and so it was recommended that we rezone to R1. Their plan is to subdivide. It will be no more than 3 lots, so density-wise,
If it's not going to be more than 3 lots, why do you need a rezoning when you've got enough for 4 already?
because of the way the soils areas are laid out on the lot and the terrain.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone have any questions for him? All right, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Any questions from our board?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I didn't catch you before you went back. So you're implying then that setbacks are your issue, and then you want the rezoning, not because of lot count? Did I not hear my chairman ask that correctly? Because you can put 4 on this now, by the code.
It's how the soils areas fall within the lot, where they are located.
Christopher, do we have a soils map you can pull up?
I don't have one readily available. We don't request those with rezonings. That would be information that I would make sure I have when it comes to platting areas, but we don't require soils analysis at the
You have
rezoning
that
stage.
available? I would ask that because I've seen some very creative drawings when it comes to soils. It's hard for me to believe that there's not a mechanism here that could potentially work.
The zoning law, Mr. Chairman, does not specify,
I'm sorry?
they don't specify anything but setbacks, just quantities, 4. And it meets that. So I really like to see his soils layout to see why it would not comply with.
That's what we're asking for. Yes, sir.
I've got it.
Please come forward and state your name for the record, please.
Cody Graves. I own the property behind there, which is 73 acres. And my concern is there's a dry creek running behind it. It goes into Old Hickory Lake.
Okay.
And I don't know if the soils areas would ever get back into that, would be my concern.
Well, I'm sure there's setbacks in place to protect the creek on your soils area. But again, I haven't seen a soils map, so I'm kind of,
And my other question is, would there be a 50-foot right-of-way into my property from this, or that would not be the case?
you would have to ask the owner that. I don't know that they're required to do anything like that at all, but that would certainly be between you and the owner.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please come forward, state your name for the record, sir.
Hi, my name is Chad Burlett. I'm a resident of Wilson County, and, my only concern is the precedent that's being set, just a quick doubling of the density. I know this board isn't responsible for building schools, but the current taxpayers are, and we've been building schools at a ridiculous rate at an exceptional cost to the current taxpayers. So I would like to see the density kept where it is, allowing 4, and work within that. I think if this commission starts to go down the path of just readily doubling the density, it sets a bad precedent and encourages other similar projects to look to this commission to make those kinds of changes. So I would encourage a vote against this request and, a more creative solution for putting, 3 homes on the property.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Do we have any luck with our soils map?
I'm working on it, I about got it.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I can get rid to my other questions to save a little time.
absolutely.
If you would like to do that.
Please, go ahead.
So Bender's Ferry and out there, you can't get there from here. It's one of those properties. You got to take 76S curves and all, great for motorcycle, but I don't know about traffic. When you get there, and I was just there, that curve is a blind curve coming into it, but right down on the other side toward the lake is sheer. And because of what we build and require, there's got to be turn lanes and things accessing into new build. The only way to do that would be on the other side, which is where this property is, and they would have to endow land to do that. But down below the driveway, you can see on the drawing, toward the north there, if you will, is a sheer drop-off too, big ditch. I'm sure it collects a large amount of rain and water in that area. So you're restricted there to even do anything except build up, put tiles in, that kind of thing. There's a lot more to this than just adding homes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Went out there and looked at it. So just want to make a note of that for not just the traffic out at 109, but the traffic here as well for the road changes. And those deep accesses are concerned. So that was it, Mr. Chairman.
Certainly, they would have to address all that if this went forward with a site plan.
Correct.
Y'all want to pass that down if I, let Christopher see that, certainly.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any other questions from our board?
What are we passing, Blake?
Well, he's asking for a rezoning. We're not passing anything yet.
I was talking about that.
Oh, it's the soils area. Shows the soils area for the property. Y'all want to see that? Okay. Okay, if we don't have any other questions, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not convinced. Motion to deny.
We have a motion to deny from Mr. Renfro. Do we have a second?
Second.
Or Mr. Thompson will second that motion. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion will pass to deny unanimously. He does have the right to take this to the county commission.
Yes, so the applicant with a denial recommendation from planning commission, you have 10 days, and that's, so with the holidays, you're going to be on a pinch schedule, but you have 10 days to appeal to the planning office in writing if you want to proceed forward to the county commission. If you give us that letter, you would be on the February's county commission agenda.
Okay, thank you. He probably wants his computer back. Okay. Okay. You ready to move forward, Christopher?
Yes, sir. Next is another rezoning. The application has been made by Land Solutions Company, LLC, representing property owner Daryl Cagle, requesting a land use plan amendment from low-density residential area to high-density, high-intensity commercial. The applicant also seeks to rezone the same properties from R1 rural residential to C3 highway commercial. The property contains approximately 2.83 acres and is located on McCreary Road and is further referenced as parcel 36.14 on Wilson County Tax Map 137. The Wilson County Land Use Plan has has provided direction since 2006. Such density or intensity realization would still be subject to findings that much of the infrastructure required to support such density and intensity of land development was in place. The applicant has requested that the 2006 adopted land use plan be amended in relation to this parcel to permit a land use mix of truck parking, lay-down yards, outdoor storage of equipment, and light industrial. The current plan has this area as low-density residential. I'll elaborate on that in a second. However, this being said, much of the surrounding area has been amended to allow high-intensity commercial. Much of the surrounding property has been rezoned to C4 plan commercial to allow retail, warehouse distribution, and rental storage lots. The adjoining property to the west and north of this property was zoned C3 PUD to allow truck parking with the stipulated enhanced screening and privacy be installed along the county right-of-way. This property is part of the overall master plan that was previously approved and shows drainage ways that are a part of the 840 logistics master plan overall infrastructure improvements. So the uses that were listed with the laydown yards were part of that C3 PUD that you all approved, that was approved 3 months ago now, I believe, by County Commission. In this instance, staff does have concerns about adequate infrastructure in the area along with some drainage concerns. The applicant is also responsible for a master plan development that has been approved directly to the south of this parcel on August 19th, 2024. And that master plan has commitments on record that many of the infrastructure concerns listed above are to be addressed. Not only have these commitments been approved as part of the master plan, but the improvements are to be completed prior to any certificate of occupancy would be issued for the site in question. Those improvements are but not limited to raising and realigning Vesta Road, making McCreary Road heading south an industrial road section raising the extend and lengthening the bridge of McCreary Road over Hurricane Creek, and helping to mitigate and realign the drainage issues that currently inundate the intersection of Vesta and McCreary Road. This property is being proposed to further improve the drainage issue by allowing a continuous ditch to be constructed through the property from the north, allowing the water to freely flow south to Hurricane Creek as it goes back under McCreary Road. Should the County Planning Commission or the County Commission ultimately decide to approve the request for rezoning, a site plan will be required at the time the property is proposed for development under commercial zoning, and all commercial requirements including permitting, paving, landscaping, building material, and public sewer provisions would apply to the property unless variances were granted by the Board of Zoning Appeals for any of the specifically listed site plan and commercial requirements that have not been approved as part of the master plan. Finally, staff has made copies of the rezoning request available to emergency services, Wilson County Schools, and the Road Commission. Staff will note that the proposed rezoning falls within the limits of the Gladeville-Wema Station's 5-mile ISO response zone for fire and emergency service. The County Stormwater Department has requested the applicant, Planning Commission, and other interested parties be put on notice that the presence of sinkholes, caves, wetlands, streams, and land areas are extremely flat, marshy, or steep may affect further development of these tracts of land. Additionally, a point of information, the rezoning does not appear to be in close or immediate proximity to any Century Farms based on the information provided to the Wilson County Planning Department. Due to the request's direct proximity to established master plan, staff can reason for the Planning Commission to approve this request. With this request, if approved, staff recommends the developer agree to the request be tied to the McCreary Road infrastructure improvements required by the previous developments. Currently, the property does not have land use direction for high-intensity commercial or C3 highway commercial zoning on this property. Therefore, staff cannot recommend approval of this request. This particular part of this site is going to be tied to the C3 laydown yard and truck parking requirements to the north. The only thing that's proposed on this small acreage tract is a drainage ditch and then a future driveway access once all road infrastructure projects are completed. They're not looking to expand the existing use from the property to the north. I did go back and forth with the developer. We allow detention and drainage on R1 zone property. This is more of a peace of mind thing, I believe, for the applicant to have the entire property zone C3.
If I aim headed south on McCreary Road, Christopher,
Yes, sir.
will be up there on the right, directly across from the larger commercial development that's currently being undertaken there, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, is this project connected to that project by ownership?
I don't know. They're different. All of those properties are under different LLCs. I'm not sure if they're all owned by the same
Let me take that a step
person.
further.
Yeah.
You're asking us to tie this to the restrictions that have been put in place for that development,
Just the infrastructure provisions.
which is a massive provision.
Yes.
If these things aren't connected, I can see that being a conflict and a potential problem.
Well, the property that this is immediately adjoining, which is, everyone knows is the Big Rig truck parking facility, those provisions are tied to that rezoning as well, and this is going to immediately connect to that.
Okay. Yes, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Nathan Quinn, 2925 Berry Hill Drive. To clarify, the C3 PUD, this would be absorbed into that existing C3 PUD, and it would be part, that map's not quite up to date, but those parcels that are shown as R1, just north of the one that's highlighted, that's already been absorbed into the C3 PUD, so this would just kind of complete the puzzle and put all those together.
That answers my question. You have no problem your approvals being tied to the ones that are already in place for the other parcels that are already approved?
That's correct. The ones that are currently shown as R1 are under our control, so that's why we're able to tie all these conditions of the larger improvements to this C3 property.
That makes that a lot cleaner.
Okay.
What else you want to tell us, sir? Anything?
No, not unless you have questions.
No other building construction project, that piece of property.
No, sir, it'll just be an expansion of the existing outdoor storage.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do you have it?
Keep him in step.
Give me just 1 second, please. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case here today? Don't get too comfortable, Mr. Quinn. Okay, now, go ahead, Mr. Renfro, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. The only way to get to this, of course, is there's a big riprap covering. I think we're between the R1 or those two R1s that are still mismarked
Correct.
to keep traffic out and that kind of thing. So had to go all the way by the racetrack to go look at this property.
Because we have it shut down.
Huh?
Because you have the road shut down.
Yeah, I don't know who's got the road shut down.
They do.
Yeah, well, you have to stop and then walk. So there was a lady walking a dog. I guess she was scared when I started walking out there. I don't know.
Okay to drive by those.
Regardless, the dog looked oppressive, so I wasn't going to mess with anybody. But it's the big R1 you're going to absorb into that PUD you're talking about, right? For my clarity, just to make sure.
It's the highlighted one on the most southern R1.
And when you say absorb, the requirements we've discussed, listed by you, are going to be applied to this exactly.
Yes, and they will conform to the entire entity around them and across the road, if I understand that correctly.
This map's not quite up to date.
Yes, sir.
That larger R1 is already part of the C3 PUD.
Correct.
And then the smaller blue outline will be absorbed into it. So it'll all be one C3 PUD, if I answered your question.
Last question, I think, is for Christopher. Is this considered, and can it be considered just by vernacular, 840 corridor from the 840 over to McQuarrie? Would that be properly stated, or is that a misstatement?
It's definitely off the 840 corridor. I mean, all of this development is, yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Anyone else have any further questions? Yes, sir, Mr. Ash.
And on the proposed land use plan, this would be under that anyway, would it, where it's colored in?
Yes, it is colored in on the proposed land use plan. I don't really want to get, we're speculating at that point.
You know, we're amending the 2006 plan again. Don't we have to get these things done?
Right, but I mean, I don't want you to base any decision on something that's,
My decision on
yeah.
it doesn't take my mind. I've seen so many maps, I'm about blind.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Quinn? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions at all from our board?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Have a motion to approve subject staff recommendations, Mr. Turner?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Motion to approve subject staff recommendations from Mr. Turner, second by Mr. Ash. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. And those opposed? That motion will carry and be forwarded to the county commission with a positive recommendation.
And since this has a land use amendment, this will not go until February.
February, okay? I'm good with that.
Are you ready to move into site plans?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay, the first item on your agenda regarding site plans is a site plan of, this is Thompson Building North, located at 3994 Murfreesboro Road, being map 114, parcel 43.01. Staff can recommend approval contingent on the septic variance being granted for this property and complying with Gladeville utility comments. I do need to update this 3994 building will have a new parcel number here in the near future. The property was subdivided and it had not been split for tax purposes yet because the property owner has not changed. That request has been done and there will be a new parcel number issued for the 3994 Murfreesboro Road building.
Is it big enough it doesn't have to go through,
It is, yeah, the survey's already been recorded, it just hadn't been split for tax purposes because ownership had not changed.
Okay. Who do we have here to represent this case today?
Russell Thompson, 1835 Holloway Road, Lebanon.
Okay. Anything you want to tell us that Mr.
I just
Lawless
appreciate your
had?
consideration. I'll answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? You sure?
Just a comment, sir.
Okay, we'll take it.
That gravel's been sitting there a long time. I guess it was just to get the properties divided and all of the paperwork handled with the gravel on it. I thought, well, you were just going to try to grow grass in there. It's been a minute. Yeah.
Exactly what you said, and we added a little more the other day, just trying to get ahead of the winter.
Yes, sir.
So, when all this hopefully is approved and a building permit issued, we could maybe go to work when it's, bad weather. It's sort of like about making a living.
Under 30 seconds, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? No, any further questions from our board? Do we have a motion? Motion to approve. We have a motion to approve, second by Mr. Thompson. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion will carry. We'll be ready for the Thompson Building South, 4,000 Murfreesboro Road, Christopher.
Yes, sir, and this one is map 114, parcel 43.01. The parcel number will stay on that one. This site plan meets requirements. Staff can recommend approval. This site on the south, it does already have a septic variance to utilize a traditional septic system for that building.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anything you want to tell us about this one, Mr. Thompson?
Russell Thompson, 1835 Holloway Road, Lebanon. No, sir, this is just a smaller building on a similar size site.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from our board? Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Any questions from our board? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Mr. Woods, second by Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion will carry also. Thank you. We're ready for the final on Highland Ridge, Phase 3A.
Yes, sir. This is located at Highland Ridge Drive. This is map 120, parcel 2.02. This is 21 additional lots, and this is a final. With minor technical corrections, staff can recommend approval.
Where is that at, Christopher?
It's the last remaining portion of the Highlands of Poplar Ridge. It was an undeveloped tract of that. They did not add any land to this. This was just a portion of it that never got developed in the past. There were stub outs to this in the original preliminary, and it's probably been.
Haven't we seen this connected to some other properties potentially at some point?
There is another part of Highland Ridge on the east side that was going to, I think, potentially connect to, I think it's Eeks Thompson, maybe. But that's another portion of the development. This is on the westernmost side of the development.
Thank you, sir. Who's here to represent this case today? Mr. Keith.
Brian Keith, 726 Park Avenue. If you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. This is just a final plat for the preliminary. It's already approved. So this is just a portion of the remaining land. There will be additional lots. For your information, this is just the next 21 lots.
Just a phase. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Have any questions from our board?
Mr. Keith, question regarding you hear all and read all of the sewer problems and things that have been happening in the county. Is this in addition to soils already approved for this amount of ad, or are you building new soils for this area here? For clarity for me.
Yes, sir. These lots, there's available soil for these lots on the property. They're not being treated on the property, they're being treated at the treatment facility, but they have return lines to this property. They have ample soil for these, and not only do they have soil for these lots, they'll be able to accommodate other lots down the road from another property.
You already meet the percentages that have been discussed on the public forum. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Any other questions from our board? Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
A motion approved, Mr. Renfro, second by Ms. Weathers. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion will carry. We're ready for the preliminary for Berkshire Reserve, 34 and 95 Hartsville Pike.
All right, the proposal that you have before you shows a gated community. The BZA case for the additional 25 lots behind a gate yesterday was denied. So subject to the plan being revised with removing the gate entirely or revising the plan to meet the minimum zoning requirements. So they're still allowed to have 50 lots behind a gate, but they were denied for the additional 25. Staff can recommend approval. Staff also needs to point out the development is 75 lots listed in front of you, 3 of which are open space unbuildable lots, so the entire development is actually 72 single-family lots. The other 3 are unbuildable tracts.
Does that drawing have to be revised?
I will require it to be revised before they move forward. If you all want to see the revision, you can defer it, or you can make it subject to that revision. It's up to you. But before I let them move forward in any other steps, I will require them to revise that.
That's the only thing, only issue you have at this?
That's the only, yeah, they've made all other corrections. That's the only thing outstanding, and that's based off yesterday's decision at the BZA.
I understand. Who's here to represent this case this morning?
My name is Hayden DeBerry. I'm with L.I. Smith & Associates. We're out of 302 North Caldwell Street in Paris, Tennessee.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us other than what he's told us, sir?
Well, as he said, we need to revise the sidewalk. It'll have to be outside the right-of-way now. And then, of course, we'll remove the gate. I do believe we plan on keeping the same lot count. We're just going to remove the gate. We have been in touch with TDOT. Just talking to Mr. Stanley Sumner, he's all right with the location of the driveway. We do intend on doing a turning lane, a left turn lane, and a deceleration lane on the highway. And we have a 1 in and 2 out entrance into the development. Right now, we're waiting to get the property bush hogged, to have a soil scientist come out. He must not want to walk through the tall grass, and I can't blame him there. But yeah, we're waiting on him to figure out the soils for the property. And we had intended on doing the ADENA system, which I found yesterday that there's the setback on that going right now. And we're in talks right now with Stormwater regarding the current location shown.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Derek. Oh, God.
Derek Dodson, 106 Chapman Drive. I have a common sense suggestion, which may not be practical, so doing the stupid wrong thing may be what's practical. So unfortunately, there's the plat. So the plat is up. So I have seen the plat, and a little perspective. Spring Creek starts somewhere south of I-40 going towards Noreen or Watertown, and goes all the way to Spring Creek across the county. And this is one of the first cases where a farm has been subdivided into lots on Spring Creek, much of Spring Creek all the way down to the end of it at Spring Creek. The lake floods. They have done an excellent job with the lands that flood on this farm, not putting houses there. So on I don't know if you can see this, but this property is almost surrounded by Spring Creek. And this line right here up Spring Creek, which you showed a moment ago on the screen, there were no houses anywhere in this area. So that's great. There shouldn't be. And there it is right there. But once you get down here, there are houses that back up, or lots that back up against the creek. And all down this backside where the creek is, you can see it right there. There are lots that back up. Ideally, the lots that are here and the lots that are here, which is shown up there right now on the back end, would be open to the entire subdivision to share up against the creek. It's a wildlife corridor. It all floods. And if all of you each own property down through there, and in the middle, Mr. Renfro decides to build a fence all the way down to Spring Creek, then none of the rest of you can use the property along the creek as a greenway. So there should be a greenway all the way around that the entire community there can use, rather than the very end of it at the creek be each individual landowner's property, where, for example, Mr. Renfro throws up a fence and blocks the rest of y'all from using, the greenway, because he's got a fence all the way down. He doesn't want you behind his house. So that would be the one thing I would change here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? We have any questions from our board?
That cul-de-sac, is it-
Mr. Ash?
cul-de-sac meets all the recommendations, doesn't it?
The one shown, it may have to be amended because it's got the island in the middle of it. The road commission has not typically accepted that, but it is shown at the proper width, yes, sir.
The reason I brought that up, I mean, these fire trucks, patrol cars, ambulances got to have a place to turn around to.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's going to be conceptual in the preliminary. We'll nail that down at the road and drainage documents, the road and drainage designs, and that may change in the final. But as far as the width and the right-of-way width and the pavement width of it, it is shown to our specs. It's just whether or not the road commission will accept the island in the middle of it.
That answer your question, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Renfro?
Yes, sir. Mr. Hayden mentioned one in and two out. Is this a one-way entrance and exit?
Yeah, it was supposed to have a gate.
Well, it's not going to have.
But he said one in and two out, so I'm assuming that everything's one way in your property here.
Yeah, we'll have one, it'll be a 2-lane road coming in to the property, and so we'll have a 1 ingress and 2 egress. One will be a left turn lane going out and a right turn lane going out.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure of the clarity in that. And is there anything that could be done based on the question and point that the gentleman brought up against that creek bed as a greenway for consideration? I know it's a final plat and that kind of thing you're working on, but
Right.
that might alleviate me putting a fence up.
Yeah.
I can charge you $1 and y'all can come on down there.
I understand. That was one thing that I spoke with the developer on, and he wanted to provide creek frontage for each home site.
It's still not creek frontage, it's just the open.
Sir? Anything else, sir?
No, sir, that's it.
I guess my question on that would be is, say they did do that, they got denied their variance on 25 extra lots for the gated community. It was going to be all private at that point, correct, if it's gated?
Yes, sir, the entire.
Everything behind the
Might
gate would
could
have
have done that, but now if it's not gated, and you make that a greenway, I mean, who's going to keep it from growing up in briars and
It would
brooks?
have to be part of an HOA, but we don't have the ability. He's meeting the county standards. We don't have the ability to tell him how to develop his property.
Now, if he wants a PUD, puts 1.75 units per.
Well, that's a whole different story.
Then we can tell them, I guess.
Hey, we could do a lot of things there.
Yeah, I don't really want to get into that again today, but
I don't blame you.
the development criterion on this property, it allows, without any PUD overlay or anything, it would allow 139 lots. They're proposing 72 single-family lots.
And they're developing the whole property with these lots, right? There's not going to be any property left on either side of the development. That could-
Well, I mean, there's some HOA property. There's not any like agricultural preservation property.
I mean, but can they put another subdivision on this property?
Oh.
Take up the entire.
This will take up the entire development.
Yeah, that big green space that we have on that north side is going to be, it's in flood zone, so we're just going to keep that as HOA property. Right.
What I'm hearing of the concern is if I want to walk the creek bed and fish or skip rocks or whatever I can do, I could be arrested for walking across these people's property if they put up posted signs, is that?
Yeah, it'd be private property at that point.
Yes.
Well, that takes away a lot.
Would be private property.
There you go.
Yeah, the green space on that north side on that last sheet you guys had up, there'll be HOA property.
Part of it will be HOA property.
Yeah,
Part of it.
there's quite a bit of creek frontage that is HOA, but as far as the rest of it there shown, that'll be private property. Yes, sir. Not a problem.
No more questions.
Any other questions from our board?
That'll be HOA.
Do we have? Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, y'all get to see me. Chris Dow, District 15, and this is in my district right here. But James, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the creek, that Spring Creek is core property, right? So they couldn't put a fence up. They couldn't go down to it anyway. So, and then also, Christopher, don't this property have deed restrictions on it?
It does have deed restrictions. Those are private deed restrictions. We don't enforce those, but yes, to my knowledge from looking that up, the seller of the property will not allow the developer to go anything below 40,000 square foot lots.
40,000, okay.
Now, that is a private deed restriction.
Right, and I also, I don't know if this is out of order or whatever, but I'd like to ask him a couple questions because I was under the impression also that this is going to be brick houses, right? 3,000 square foot? Okay, I just wanted that on record.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, having said that, that's not anything we can take into consideration.
Right.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from our board? All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion to approve by Mr. Noakes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. And those opposed?
No.
Mr. Renfro voting no, and that motion will pass 8-1. Is that correct? 3-4.
Yes.
Or 7-1, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
7-1. Thank you, sir. We'll move on to the preliminary for Cedar Hollow on Hart
Okay.
Creek Road.
This was a development that was approved last month for 54 lots. The applicant had requested deferral to the January meeting. This is back on your agenda because I put it on there. He wants to discuss the stub-out requirements to the neighboring properties on this, particularly the one directly to the north.
Do we have anyone here today wishing to speak on this case? Okay, move forward, Christopher, I'm sorry.
Well, I need you to vote on.
Okay.
Either you need
I will
to,
make a motion to continue this case to January meeting, correct?
yes, sir, that's the request.
I'll make that a motion. Second by Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion will carry.
The next thing are plats for affirmation. It's subdivision of the portion of the Haskell Carpenter property, one lot being map 104, parcel 18 at 1030 Lindsley Road. Subdivision of the Hubert Tarpley and Louise Tarpley property, which is two lots being map 152, parcel 38, located at 7291 Greenville Road. Re-subdivision of the Francis Jane Lohman property, lot 5, which is one lot on map 116, parcel 8505, located at 10,996 Stewart's Ferry Pike. The final of the William R. McRae Senior property, which is two lots being map 82, parcel 100, located at 1611 Sparta Pike. The final of the boundary of the Boyd property, which is at 296 Riverview Road, which is one lot being map 28, parcel 20. The consolidation of the Crosswinds subdivision lots 34 through 36 into one lot. This is map 29J, parcel A, or group A, parcels 5 and 7, and this is 135 West Lakeview Drive. I know there's 3 lots, but 2 of those lots have been combined into one parcel. That's why you only have 2 parcel numbers on that one. The consolidation of the David Rahr property being part of map 103, parcels 14 and 16, being 1946 Murphyboro Road. And the last is this is a little unique, it's a preliminary of Inman Road. It's currently going to be Inman Road. It's off Sparta Pike. This is part of map 91, parcel 5, and it also connects to 5.01, 7, 8, and 2601. This one is unique just because I don't know if you're all familiar familiar with the Lebanon Industrial Park that's going down, they're creating an access, so they've had to plat off a small tract that they're, ultimately this entire parcel that they're deeding off is going to be deeded to the road commission. So it's being currently built to road commission standards, and once they get a final plat and the road is completed, they'll dedicate that to the county. But that's the only thing being shown on this particular preliminary plat.
That's in their growth plan, right? Cities.
City.
No, it's just south of their urban growth boundary. Now, the industrial park is annexed into the city limits, yes. But this particular right-of-way will end up being county road. It's from the railroad tracks to Sparta Pike. It's, I can't remember how far, it's not a very large section, I want to say 400 feet maybe.
And this ties some already commercial properties back into this new road too, doesn't it, Christopher?
There are commercial properties on the north side of this Inman Road, and then I'm not 100% sure on the south side off the top of my head.
Do we have anyone here today wishing to speak on any of these cases? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Gerald Hill, CSR Engineering at 118 North Greenwood here in Lebanon. I'm just here to answer any questions if I can, so.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any comments for us on this, any of these cases? Any questions from our board? We have a motion.
So be.
Have a motion to approve, Mr. Woods, second by Mr. Renfro. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion will carry. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Christopher, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Renfro.
we've asked for a 2-minute respite. I drank too much this morning.
We will take a 5-minute break, and we'll go back into session. All right, we'll call our meeting back to order.
How you guys doing? Good. Ain't it?
I do. Resolutions.
When you called, you must be Christmas. You know about it.
Yeah.
I do. You know about Tommy. Tommy Thompson.
Mr. Chairman. You can't. No.
Yeah.
You tried to tell me.
Gonna bury him tomorrow.
Bring it on up here, honey. Are you ready, Christopher? I think we're ready to move into the
The resolutions.
zoning resolution amendment.
Okay, unless there's a particular order, I was just going to do them in the order they're on the agenda. Do you care?
Oh, no.
Okay. The first one that I have in front of you is the resolution for amending the Wilson County zoning ordinance regulating accessory detached dwelling units and how it's defined. So the major changes on this, and I've made everything in red so it's easier to see what's being changed and then what's being deleted is struck through. But the definition part is amending it from 600 square feet to 1,000 square feet, and then redefining what's allowed in a detached accessory dwelling unit. And that clearly specifies 1 bedroom or sleeping quarters area, 1 full bathroom, 1 accessory kitchen, and 1 living/dining area. And the reason that the definition is also getting defined in there is because we were having accessory dwelling units that people were coming in and submitting plans. They were having 1.5 baths, and they were also adding an office. And I don't think that was ever the intent of an accessory dwelling unit.
Okay.
And that was just to kind of work around that, because I don't know if that was contributing to the size variance requests that were coming before BOZA with the additional structures being added in there. But this hopefully clarifies that down a little bit. And then if you follow along in the rest of the sections, it's just amending all the other similar sections referring to the detached to match the 1,000 square foot for the minimum size.
Okay. Do we have anyone here wishing to speak on this case today? Yes, sir, Mr. Evans.
That's Evans, 5925 Franklin Road. I brought the initial request to Christopher after speaking with and having concerns from a resident. He was trying to build one for his mother-in-law. She is not in good health and potentially he's going to be in a wheelchair, and he was having trouble finding plans for ADU that was ADA compliant. I have had other conversations that it can be done. It's tight. It's tight. And so The 1,000 square feet that I asked for was a little bit arbitrary. If y'all wanted to go down to 900, I don't think anybody would have any issues with that. But something a little bit larger would be beneficial to a lot of the residents. I know there's concerns about some of them probably getting rented out and never having a family member in it. That probably happens at 600 square feet. So I don't know if that's a relevant argument. So,
But now,
some thoughts.
what's in front of us is what came out of planning and zoning committee, correct, Chris?
That is correct. You can offer recommendations.
Yeah, we get in trouble when we do that.
Well, you're just offering them.
Yeah, okay. So, thank you, Mr. Evans. Anyone else wishing to speak on this today?
You can make us miss.
Neal, 1000 Murphy Lane.
Clock.
I don't have a lot to say about it. My only concern, I do think there's a need for a larger unit in ADU. It seems to be that's probably a part, maybe a very small part of affordable housing, whether it be an elderly person, an elderly couple, or even a young couple right out of college and they come back where, they can't afford to build a house, but, they could build an ADU maybe in the backyard. I wonder with the larger going from 600 to 1,000, I just throw this out there. If you make it bigger, should you have it on a minimum lot size? Do you want 1,000 ADU on a half-acre lot? Should there be a minimum? Should it be only on a 2-acre lot? I think when you have a duplex, it's only allowed maybe in A1. You wouldn't allow a duplex on a half-acre lot. I'm just as a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to speak on this today?
Yeah,
Mr.
Dow, yeah. District 15. I'm kind of like what Haskell said, and actually I'm in the boat right now. What Perry's talking about. My father-in-law's like 6'6", 340 something pounds, so he needs more room. And I agree with Perry. We need to have some stipulations and all of that. That's a good point because I never did even think about that. But when you're dealing with it, and each one of us is going to do it, I promise you that sooner or later. My mother-in-law died 3.5 months ago, and so I inherited a father-in-law and probably an 8-year-old, in the same sentence or whatever. So he lives with me now, but if I can build out back, y'all would save me so much trouble or whatever. So, and Gary knows who I'm talking about. He knows who Robert is. So, but anyway, I am up here with Haskell and I've talked to several commissioners, but I do realize that 1,000 square foot, he don't need that. I don't believe that he needs 1,000 square foot. I know Haskell, he said he turned it in, but I'm more like him, about 900 square foot. If you start making these things 1,000, then you're going to run into what Perry was talking about. So, but that's my 2 cents worth. But yeah, one way or another, it's either build out behind my house or Margiana.
Thank you, sir. Christopher, just thinking what Perry's talking about here. I don't know that it is, we would have the authority or the right to dictate who could have a mother-in-law's apartment. That's what we originally started calling them, ADUs, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I have concerns about saying you can, you can't.
Not with the resolution that's presently in front of you. That would need to be something that's amended going forward. Yes.
To even make a modification to where it was not all inclusive, quite frankly, just doesn't seem fair to me. Now, whether or not he's right about the size of them or not, that may be a completely different argument.
I don't know how to justify whether or not it would be fair. If there was a resolution that you had to have a minimum lot size to have an ADU, I do think it would be legal if we put it in our zoning.
I understand, because ADU is not necessarily a mother-in-law's apartment. That's not what's driving this.
Yes, sir.
So,
but it would be.
Everybody's entitled to an ADU now if they can meet the setbacks.
Yes, sir. And it would be similar to like Airbnbs are limited to 2-acre tracts. Duplexes, as mentioned.
The first ones we approve will be those, I promise.
Yeah. Well.
But you can't have it both ways.
Yes, and then as mentioned, duplexes, those do require 120,000 square foot lots.
Yes. Okay.
It actually falls on other folks maybe, but it might be an enforcement nightmare in a way. I mean,
They're already an enforcement nightmare.
I know that, I'm just saying.
All we're doing is gonna make it a little bit bigger thing to enforce. That's all. This is really proposing the size of the unit.
Because Rusty left, but out on Holloway Road, you know, we got half
Y'all got everything, Sheriff. Y'all are all inclusive.
right there. And they come take a look.
Okay.
Every kind of business in the world been around there.
And every kind of house. Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak on this today? We have any other questions or comments from our board?
Yes, sir. One of the phrases you hear Chris say, and two or three of us on the board, is intent of the resolution. Intent.
Mhm.
This intent for family, taking care of each other, et cetera, is great.
Absolutely.
What keeps me from, since I'm the bad guy today with fences and such, what keeps me from saying in my neighborhood, I build one out, would say, I'm going to move with my cousin here, and then I rent it, or I start using it in the back into B&B. Now, I know that the particular restrictions are their type of zoning as rentals, but how do we keep true to the intent of the resolution? And you're saying, you just stated that we don't have that latitude, or we do?
Well, we may have some latitude. To police that is not something that we are set up to do. And I don't know that the will of the county would be to get into the business of policing that, just to be completely candid with you.
The only thing that we could strictly enforce that on regarding rentals would be short-term rentals or Airbnbs.
Well, and that's because they have to come up here before.
Yeah, and that's the only reason. If somebody built one with the initial intent that they're going to build it as using it as additional income, and they do long-term rentals, which is anything over 30 days or more, that would be a use by right. We don't regulate those.
But we're in a college town, so it can happen right now.
It is happening right now.
Yeah.
No question about it. It's happening right now.
So we're trying to do the right thing, but people are doing wrong all around us.
Well, we're trying to make the units they can rent out bigger. Is the gist, if you want to take that side of the fence.
We'll put 24 college students in instead of 12. I mean,
I think it would be 20 instead of 12 mathematically, but yes, sir.
Didn't we one time, Mr. Chairman, put some kind of mandate in that had to have a separate tight line to the sewer system? In other words, you can do this, and I'm for doing this, because too many people have to take care of the elderly. And I'm one of them. My mother-in-law's been with me for 15 years. My dad-in-law, of course, died, but we need to make this work some kind of way, but there's an enforcement problem with it. It's going to go hand in hand. But in order to put another restroom facility in it, a bathroom, so if the property septic system has 3 bedrooms approved or 4, if you can do 4, then you can do this, but you're going to have sewer capacity, right?
Correct, yeah, and I'm not changing it. That's in the existing resolution. I'm not amending any of that part. Like if you build an accessory dwelling unit, you have to prove that your existing system can handle an additional bedroom. If it can't, like say you have a 3-bedroom perk and you're going to add it, we will allow you to add a 1-bedroom separate system on site for that ADU.
If you have the soils.
Yeah, it's all going to be pending on whether or not you have the soils.
Get that into the minutes.
Yeah, and now that is already part of it.
It's already part of the existing. I'm not amending that part.
People say, well, yeah, they've amended that. Now you can do that. That ain't.
I'm not touching that particular part of the ordinance. That's still there.
The only thing before us is raising the square footage.
to my colleague, I agree 100%. I think it helps the family with a larger size, but does it make it more attractive to those nefarious intentions by others if going from 600 to 1,000? I'm asking
yes,
my colleagues, wouldn't it
yes
be more attractive? Hey, look what we can get now.
Is it easier to
rent?
Is it easier to rent a 600 square foot apartment or a 1,000 foot apartment?
Yeah.
Well, I did clean up the definition where, I mean, I'm hoping that these will be limited to 1 bedrooms. I mean,
yeah.
It's not to say that they don't get retrofitted after the fact, but the initial building plans will only have 1 bedroom in them.
Correct. But we don't have the ability to police those things going forward. And I'm not even sure we are looking to be in that business.
Not unless you're going to supply Karen with some more staff.
Ty doesn't look very busy, so he would be then. Okay. Any other questions from our board? If not, I'll call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Well, motion approved, Mr. Ash, second by Mr. Thompson. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. And those opposed.
Vote aye too, I guess.
That will pass unanimously, and I assume that goes to the county commission.
That'll be on January's county commission meeting. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Uh,
please, Mr. Dow.
Was that 900 or 1,000?
That's 1,000. That's what's proposed. That's what came from the planning and zoning commission of the county commission.
You can get somebody else in there now.
Now, having said that, you could amend the motion on the floor in the county commission. Y'all get through that. See how that works.
Ask Haskell how to do that.
Okay. State law, that's all our cases for right now, isn't it, Christopher?
I've got, what?
That's all our cases.
I've got 2 more resolutions.
No, I'm sorry. I forgot about that one. I apologize.
Yeah.
Trying to see that.
I'm trying to get done. Yeah.
The second one is a resolution regulating contractors' yards in some districts, and this is the C2, C3, and I1 light industrial. For C2, it's removing contractors' yards from uses permissible upon appeal in the C2 general commercial district, so that will remove it completely. Under the C3 section, under uses permissible upon appeal, it's just remove the following language, and it's the words office and or in section F where it refers to contractor storage yard, because it was listed as contractor's office and or. I don't know how to delineate between a contractor's office and a real estate office on paper, and we allow office in all of our commercial districts. So this is just cleaning that up so there's not a misinterpretation of whether or not this person's running a contractor's office or an HVAC office. There's no delineation between that. If it's an office and you have office staff in there, it's just an office. So that's just removing that part. It's not taking the contractor's yards out of C3. That's still allowed. It's just cleaning up the language there. And then in the I1 light industrial section, uses permitted, it's removing the following language, office and or, with the same issue that we still allow offices in I1. This is not prohibiting that. We're just not delineating between a contractor's office and any other sort of office you may have on the site.
So 2 of these are getting rid of and ors.
Yes, and then under C2, it's removing the contractor's yards completely from general commercial, because talking with the Board of Zoning Appeals members in this and the commissioner that submitted this felt like this was more custom if we were going to permit it, that it needed to be along some sort of state route corridor. And C2, that kind of takes that out of being in a more of a neighborhood scale.
So you're eliminating anything to do with contractor's office and or yard, not office, yards.
Yards in C2, yes, sir. And then they'll still be permitted in our C3 highway commercial in both of our industrial districts.
Okay. Okay. Anyone here wishing to speak on this proposal today? We have any questions from our board?
Is this just a cleanup, Mr. Chairman, of language, or is there's a prompting for this, and we had problems or not? Chris?
There was a prompting between like whether or not people were coming through, and the question was asked, well, are you having a contractor's office on site? And their question was yes. And then it's like, okay, so we're not allowing them to have their office space because they're a contractor. It was getting very selective. Like, and then a person would come in the next month and they're doing a real estate business, and we just permit them to have that office there.
Does this include the mobile contractor offices that roll on a property?
No, this would be permanent office structures.
Christopher, do you have the definition of a contractor yard?
Mm-hmm.
Can you read that, please?
Sure.
My fear here is the guy who got 2 pieces of equipment getting kicked to the curb. Because I think a lot of that's what you're trying to do would be the smaller business folks who are going to be located in the C2. And I know that's been taken into account for, but I'd like to hear the definition.
Okay, so it's going to be the most similar thing. I don't have a contractor's yard specific at that time, but what we've always leaned on in the county is the commercial industrial building sales rental. It's the land use activity associated with the sales, rental, lease, or display of commercial industrial buildings for use on a separate lot of record. So it'd be, you would not have to have an office on a contractor's yard. You can have all your equipment displayed or stored on any sort of lot. We also don't require contractors' yards to be completely paved, like our paving requirement. So that's one of the reasons that it's taking it out of C2. The paving requirement is all drive aisles and parking facilities. So like C3 allows parking lots. It also allows contractor's yard, but there's a delineation between those two. Like a contractor's yard with that, it tears up the more traditional paving requirements.
Where is the line when we are required to utilize a contractor yard?
Where
2 pieces of equipment, 8 pieces of equipment?
the 2 pieces of equipment comes with the home occupation. You can only have 2 contract pieces of equipment to qualify for a contract storage. As far as like where something is determined a contractor storage yard over just somebody storing equipment of their own, is that what you're asking?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, it would. Historically, it's been the 3rd piece of equipment is what triggers that violation.
Oh, I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
There's a difference in 2 zero-turn lawnmowers and 2 bulldozers.
Well, yes, sir. I mean, we have landscape businesses outlined as well.
We dealt with that, so this doesn't affect any of that.
No, and I mean, as far as like home occupations for landscaping businesses, I think the specification in there is that if they remain on the trailer and they come to and from, they still qualify as the home occupation. A lot of that is storage inside as well, and I know that may not be accommodable for every site, but yes, there is a difference between 2 bulldozers and 2 zero-turns.
Beyond what you're asking us to do here today, do you not think it would be prudent to, inside the zoning ordinance, define contractor yard a little more clearly?
Ken, yes, sir. Do you want this resolution kicked back to add that to
I'm
it?
not even asking you to do that because I'm not against what you're proposing. But there are going to be some gray areas, such as what the sheriff just brought up. And if we had a little more clarity on some of these things,
Okay.
I actually think it would make y'all's job and Karen's job a lot easier. But do you agree with that? All right.
Well, taxes and licensing, according to Sheriff Ash.
I'm sorry?
Taxes and licensing are based off of weight class. Your RVWs and handling of equipment, that kind of thing.
It is.
Is there a delineation? Here's the thing, some mini X's weigh less than some of these huge zero turns. So we don't want somebody walking on somebody's yard that's getting a business and they buy a little mini X to cut a ditch in when they need it or drainage or something. And then they get tapped for, hey, that's an industrial piece of equipment, quote unquote, compared to these heavy lawnmowers too. So who makes that determination?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get a little more clarity on it because there's going to be a gray area no matter what you do, because there's a lot of small contractors now who have equipment that you can pull behind any truck.
Correct.
These aren't bulldozers and track loaders or huge things of that nature. And I don't want them to get caught in between the cracks, for lack of a better term.
So do we need to postpone this change?
Well, I'm not opposed to the intent of this, but I would like to relatively quickly in the near future
just wanna
get
add
a
it.
clearer definition of what we're calling a contractor's yard.
Okay.
I know Christopher's put a lot of time and effort into this, and I'm not disputing the intent of this. I'm just worried about the definition of some of these things. Let's call on Ms. Murphy and see what her comments are.
Well, I've been the rules, let her comment on this. I think she needs to.
In regards to like the home occupation, you're allowed to have 1 commercial vehicle, 1 commercial piece of equipment, and a trailer. So no matter how large that piece of equipment is, they can still have the 1 piece of equipment. And I'm not talking about the zero-turn mowers or anything. I'm talking about a piece of equipment. Heavy equipment. So you can have the 1 vehicle, 1 piece of equipment, and a trailer. And it is covered under the home occupation. Under a home occupation. And that's what's in our definition that's in the zoning ordinance. But I do agree with maybe if you, Christopher, on this, and we may this is something that I probably should have told you before this even came before planning. But it's adding the contract, it's taking contractor storage yard out of C2, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Completely.
And okay. But we don't have a definition for contractor storage yard, right?
Not a clear one, no, ma'am.
If we could just get some clarity on that going forward, Christopher.
Yeah, in the past, I think it's historically been anything that would require a contractor's license to be looped in with a contractor storage yard. So
Well,
you're talking,
Based on what she just said, I'm sure that's exactly what it says. You could have had a D8 out there, but you couldn't have 2 skid steers,
I don't,
which is,
that
seems odd.
that sounds, I don't know what a D8 is.
End. What about the larger end? If I got a fifth wheel I'm pulling, there's my truck, commercial, here's my trailer, and it's 53 feet long, and I got a crane on the backside of it. Does that still qualify?
Well, according to that definition, I think it has to.
It is. And that trailer is as big as an 18-wheeler across the yard, so.
Well, and you could take, your truck and trailer could be a low boy.
See?
Yes, sir.
Same for clarification, but I agree with what Chairman's saying about getting some clarity in it. Make sure when you, I know we already got this in certain statutes, but to make sure in your clarity part, that you exempt farm owners, to make sure it's clear in there someone, even though it's already done. I don't want somebody to come by and say, well, he's baling hay for a living and he parks all of his equipment there. Anybody in agricultural business does not need to be penalized under this.
I can speak on that too. We wouldn't go in on somebody that had farm equipment, or even if they had a skid steer or a large piece of equipment, if they've got a farm and they've got the 15 acres and they're under agreement.
But I know you wouldn't.
Subdivision.
It may not always be.
But the clarity might.
But
Yeah.
you're saying,
If somebody's got a quarter of an acre and try to park something like that on, it'd be,
Well, based on the current set of views, you could back a low boy in a subdivision with a D8 on it and your home occupation. That seems out of whack a little
Hang
bit.
Christmas lights on it, and you're fine.
You go. All right. We have any other questions from our board?
Mr. Chairman, before we ask for a motion though,
Yes,
I gotta stipulate this definition as part of this motion or not, and can we?
I'm okay to move forward and let us revisit next month and next month after that. Karen's not going to change her mode of doing business in the next day or two. If he can get that to us in a semi-timely, does that have to go before planning and zoning?
Every resolution has to go before planning and zoning, yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
Very serious.
Are you more comfortable voting on this today and moving forward with it, Christopher, redoing the definition? Are you more comfortable to defer this until we get that?
I'm not 100% on that process now with how resolutions work completely with what I used to think they were. I think we could, because this is a commissioner submitted resolution. So the process is that all resolutions have to go to planning and zoning. They have to come to this committee, and then they're forwarded with a recommendation, yay or nay, to the county commission. In the instance of this one, I can speak with the commissioner that filed it, and I think we could retrofit. We'd take the definition back through planning and zoning, and then just amend everything that comes before you, and we'd fix it all at one fell swoop. That would be cleaner as part, because that way everything regarding contractor charge would be in the same resolution. But I think like the resolution as you see it, it'd be tabled indefinitely, I think, more or less.
Is this, absolutely, would love for you to speak, especially if you're the commissioner who voted for him.
So rather than rushing into something and muddying the water even worse, I'm fine with waiting another month, 2 months, whatever we need to clear things up instead of just rushing in.
You'll have to go back.
I'll make a motion, we table this indefinitely until Christopher has what we need to bring it.
I'll second that too.
Very tired of dealing with this. And
I'm sure he is.
room had exploded beyond
What you meant.
the.
But a bad time.
I'm really only trying to amend 6 words in the resolution. It's
Look where it got
really getting me.
But you can see if,
later, we get it done.
but you can see if the chairman had a question, this one had a question, that had a question. You imagine getting in here and then
Well, I'll let Haskell explain it all once he gets there.
let's clean it up. Let's get it, like he said, let's get it right. And
Then our recommendation's clean, yeah.
We have a motion to defer indefinitely, second by Mr. Renfro. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed? Bring that back up to us, Christopher, when you get ready.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Haskell.
I think if the definitions had been clearly done to start with, a lot of this probably wouldn't believe.
Yeah, because the intent, we're not opposing the intent. So I agree with you.
I don't think that I was opposed to the original intent either. It was the definitions that we're getting hung up.
Okay. All right.
it might give you some time to look at it and make what needs to be in there yourself.
Next motion. You got one more, Christopher?
Yes, sir. And this is a resolution regulating maximum height of principal and accessory structures. The only thing that's being amended is the accessory structure part of this resolution. But the biggest thing, I'm going to go through what it's doing in R1. I'm not going to read R2 and A1. It's the same verbiage in all three of them, I promise, but I'm just going to read to you what's changed in R1, and then you mimic that in the other resolutions. But it's no principal structure shall exceed 3 stories or 35 feet in height. That's current. Where the changes come is accessory structures which meet minimum accessory setbacks, which in the county is 10 feet, shall not exceed 22 feet in height. And that's what we're at. Now, there's a current stipulation in there where we allowed them to go higher as long as you match the primary building material and the roof pitch of the primary residence on the structure. That is still in there if you only want to meet the accessory structure setbacks. So then the big change comes, accessory structures which meet the minimum principal setbacks shall not exceed 30 feet in height. Accessory structures which meet minimum accessory setbacks but do not meet minimum principal setbacks of their zoning districts may be up to 30 feet in height if they match the predominant 2 roof pitch angles and building material of the primary residence structure. So the big change on that is if you have an accessory structure and you want it to be higher than 22 feet, you can either leave it at the 10 foot and match the building material and the roof pitch to get it up to 30 feet, or if you'll match the primary structure setback for that district. So in R1 and R2, it's going to be 10 feet, R1 would be 15 feet, and A1 would be 20 feet. You can go up to 30 feet for an accessory structure setback. This is hopefully to clean up some of the height variance request and consistency we've had at Board of Zoning Appeals on approving these on larger tracts of land. Because we'll get an accessory structure that's 300-400 feet from a property line that needs a height variance to be 26 feet tall. And there's now those that, because they're much greater than the primary structure setback, those will not need that as long as they stay below the 30 feet.
Question.
Yes.
I listened to this when you took it before Planning and Zoning Committee. All we've talked about are the side setbacks.
Well, front setbacks are.
Or what about the rear setbacks? Because a lot of
they're
going to be to the rear of the property.
No, well, I didn't mention it, but it's principal structure setbacks and accessory structure setbacks. So on the rear, accessory structure setbacks are still 10 feet. But if you want to meet the principal structure setbacks on the rear,
30 in R1, correct?
It'd be 30 in it'd be 40. It's 40 foot in R1 and A1.
Okay.
Yep.
It'd be 40 feet.
So yeah, no, the way it's written.
You need the primary setback lines.
Mm-hmm.
You were proposing that they can go to 30 feet.
Yes, and that includes the rear. I mean, the side are always the ones that seem to get the most, but the way it's written, it will incorporate the rears as well.
Okay.
Because it just says principal structure setbacks. I'm not delineating a difference between side and rear.
So if we're willing to move in 5 extra feet in R1, we can gain 8 vertical feet.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes.
Question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Renfro.
We have a BOZA approval. Let's say, again, I go in, I get my approval, and they've granted that. Can I still go to 30 feet? Even if I've moved and encroached into the setback because I got my approval?
Right now, you would have to have BOZA, period, to get over the 22 feet.
Correct. But now that it goes 30, I can make it 35 feet from the line if I get an approval.
Yeah,
you could still go to BOZA and ask.
You can't be 5 feet from the line. You'd have to be 10.
It's a minimum, well, I guess Boza could give you,
Yeah, Boza could give you a variance, but if you were trying to avoid Boza, which I feel like that's everybody's should be, you would be 10 feet from the property line. But if you wanted to go to 30 feet, you would have to move either to 15 or 20 feet on the sides. On the rear, you'd still have to meet the 40-foot.
Regardless of an approval from Boza or not.
Well, you wouldn't need an approval at that point.
I know.
Maybe I'm not following.
An outlier then. If I get this approval, still don't, I don't get my 30 feet. If they allow me to be closer to the line. I just want to make sure that's in the language. Because now it's a legal approval
I'm not.
to build this building, and I'm going to build it in brick like the house, and I want it 30 feet.
well, if you're matching the roof line and the finishes of the existing structure, you can go up to 30 feet now without going before Boza or anybody else.
As long as I'm within 10 feet.
As long as you stay within 10 feet of the property line. That's the current standard.
Yeah, that's the current. Yeah. Yes, sir.
What he's going to be looking for going forward,
It's less restriction on the building material on the roof pitch if you choose to match the primary structure setbacks.
As long as it's not an outlier for someone to slip something in under the wire. And that's all I'm doing.
no, sir. No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Can you tell me where you came up with the 30 feet, Christopher? That seems, to me, seems excessive just from moving in 5 feet, 8 extra additional feet.
I don't have, that's just the number that looked good on paper on that one.
Well, he is terribly honest, isn't he?
Whenever in 2016, when we changed height, it was 16 feet. We went from 16 feet to 22 feet, and that was in 2016. Since 2016, we've had probably one height variance on every Boza agenda since then.
And then multiple months you had a half a dozen.
Yes, and to tell you that they've been consistent on how they approve those would be an understatement. I couldn't tell you one month to the next how the line of thinking on that was. But so this is just to clean it up. And the 30 feet for, I think I'm not a contractor, so don't hold me to these numbers. I think a 412 pitch on a 40 by 60 structure, which seems to be a common size structure that's being built these days. If you have a 16-foot door, I think that gets you to like 28 and a half feet on a 412. Don't hold me to that.
40 foot wide. You're going on a 4 foot 12. You're going up 80 inches above roof line.
Right, and everybody's wanting a 16-foot door for RV and campers, so.
23, 24 feet at that point. And of course, that's assuming you got a completely flat elevation. You could be 10 foot further down on the back.
Yeah. But a lot of that is to be able to accommodate these larger structures that we seem to be getting across Wilson County and the 16-foot garage door, which requires an 18-foot roof line, correct? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have many requests unless they got a provost bus or big camper, right?
No, they got a dozen a month.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we get a lot of accessory structures now. They'll put 12 pitches on them and use them as attic storage in those structures.
None of this height variance fixes anything commercial, industrial. That's not on.
It's just residential accessory structures.
Any other questions from our board? I'll call for a motion.
Sir, did you ask for public comment?
I didn't. I apologize. Come on up, Mr. Neal.
I'll make it real quick.
Yeah, right.
I may be the one that's created some of the inconsistencies in the history of this with Boza, so I'll own up to that. I don't know when. I don't know. We had like 5 or 6 of these come up one month a year or so ago, and we denied every one of them. Straight across the board. We kind of had the policy we're not going to allow. One of them's on a 15-acre tract. One of them, when I went home, that didn't sit real good with me. I thought, we as Boza have got a right to grant it. Some of them 2-foot variant. I mean, we just denied everything one month, and I didn't. So then next month we have 2 or 3 more, and I decide for my vote, in my opinion, if it's on, quote, a larger lot, which I don't have a definition for that, just in my mind, if it's on a larger lot and the variance is not excessive, I'm gonna encourage it. If it's 2 or 3 foot, And so that's how all that got started, you know. And so then the board has been, I guess since then, we've approved some, but the board is split. It's always a 3-2, 4 against, one, you know, so it's, you know, it's been a split board. I'm sure some of you have watched some of that and followed some of that, but I don't have a preference whether it's 30 foot or 20. I don't have a preference on that. There is a big need for taller buildings. People build big houses. People have big toys. They have toys that I can't even begin to imagine. They have a real need for bigger than 22 foot, you know, and I tried to help some of those people. I might have been wrong in doing that. I don't know. But that's how all that got started. And it's kind of, you know, I appreciate Chris for getting all this back up in front of you guys, and whatever y'all do, we'll try to live with it. But I do think he needs something bigger than 22 foot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this? Mr. Evans?
925 Franklin Road. Just a question real quick for Christopher and for Mr. Neal. The resolution for Planning Commission Day, is that the same one that originated from Board of Zoning Appeals?
Well, Board of Zoning Appeals, I talked to them to get some guidance on that, and then I wrote a resolution based off that and the origination of the zoning ordinance. But yeah, no, the height resolution originated from Board of Zoning Appeals. Staff created this resolution. It wasn't requested by a commissioner or anything.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, so Board of Zoning Appeals was consulted on this, and Board of Zoning Appeals member good with the amendment as.
I'm good. I don't know. Did we vote as a board on this?
No, there was no vote from Board of Zoning Appeals. It was just discussion purposes on like what would.
Speak for the entire board right here today.
It was just discussion purposes on what would make them more comfortable with being consistent. Yes, there was input from Board of Zoning Appeals on this.
Let me ask. This resolution is only changed if you can meet the customary primary residence setback, correct?
Yes, that's the only forgiveness it's giving. If you're gonna stick with the accessory structure, you're still 22 feet.
You're still going to be 22 feet.
I didn't want to make a crazy tall structure probably on a tract of land that doesn't need it in a neighborhood. I mean, I was trying to protect the existing constituents out there from having massive structures right next to them.
I understand. I am going to make a motion that we change, if you can meet the primary setbacks, no different than what Christopher is proposing, that we change that number to 26 feet at that point, and for every 10 additional feet you get away from your property line, you can raise that building up 1 foot.
Okay. Change.
And
we're moving the baseline from 22 to 26.
Right. If the primary structure setback, so in R1 it would be 15 feet, in A1 it would be 20 feet. So every additional 10 feet that you move the structure from the primary structure setbacks, you are adding a foot. Okay.
I know that's going to create some heartburn in the building inspector's office, but to put a 30-foot building on a half-acre lot in the middle of a subdivision is overpowering. And up to 35 feet, it's overpowering.
Okay. So that would be your recommendation to the county commission for that amendment?
That is a motion I'm going to make.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to county commission now. I could get voted down quick here.
That would be, okay, so that'd be your recommendation. All right.
Chairman, you used the term primary and he's used the term principal. Are those one?
Those are one and the same.
One and the same.
Yes.
Second that.
We have a second from Mr. Turner. Do we have any further discussion?
Yes, sir. If we move into the middle of the property and it's 40 feet from everybody, I can go 60 feet in the air. Is that what you're saying? Or the limit upper is 30 total regardless?
But you have a max 35 period, don't we, Christopher?
Yes, there's a max of 35 period across county, and that typically was created for fire protection services before we had
35 for this building, not the primary residence.
Oh, that sticks to the primary as well. That was across the county, the 35 for all structures, and that was a
building that he just specified can go as high as the house if I'm set back in.
If you've got
that
the
additional
setbacks.
10 feet plus like you're talking about.
And in fairness, it can go that high now without asking anybody if you match everything on the existing house. That's not new.
Thank you for the clarity. Yes, sir.
Okay. We have a motion and a second.
So this motion and segment is for the suggested amendment, correct? I need to,
Justin again. Yes, sir. That's what
yes.
we're doing.
And then after the suggested amendment is approved, I need another vote on the resolution. It's similar to how they, the only way I can figure out to make this through, this would be similar to how they amend things on the county commission floor. You have to vote on the amendment first, and then you vote on the resolution as amended. So right now you're voting on the amendment that you just proposed. Does that make sense? Or did I lose you?
You got an attorney sitting right here. I think you're.
They got him, by the way.
This used to be more clean before we had
You seem clean.
more attorneys involved.
Well, with the change, assuming it's approved, it's got to go back to planning and zoning.
There's nothing that says any resolution has to go before planning and zoning and state law. Planning and zoning is a self-created board.
Can I suggest we send this back to planning and zoning with those recommendations?
You won't never recognize it again.
I don't know why it's here.
He started it.
I don't know why all that other stuff started over there either. I don't know why it got here either.
That's a whole different argument. So
What do you want to do, Gene? You want to approve this one with the change proposed?
The resolution for it first.
well, I think Mike's telling me to make my motion a different way if I'm hearing you correct.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where you want to get so that I don't have to see this.
That's right.
Meetings in the next year.
Haskell, does this need to go back to planning and zoning? You're on the county commission.
Come from there.
I would prefer you just,
It came from planning and
This
zoning.
one did.
It came from planning and zoning.
I would prefer you just, you vote on,
Y'all approved it. So
you vote on your suggested amendment, and then you vote on the resolution with the suggested amendment to forward it. Because if the suggested amendment doesn't pass, then we'll just vote on the resolution as it was.
asking why we had the ability to have an opinion last time.
Well, I've had, yeah,
That's a true story.
Yeah, it is.
I know. Yes, sir. But I'd rather it not go back to planning and zoning because then I'm doing this back and forth. And if you remember the original lot size resolution, that went back and forth a half a dozen times.
How can you keep planning and zoning from hearing it if they want to hear?
We're not trying to keep it
No,
planning and
no.
zoning. I don't,
Just-
if he-
They're going to hear, every member of planning and zoning is on the county commission.
Well, yeah.
If it gets there and they want to rehear it, they can deny the ordinance and we'll start over.
I was saying, I've been up here a long time. The last 2 years, 70% of the stuff we send up here gets turned down. Okay. And so I want to do it right and make it, compatible to everything that they think they need up here and not try to patch it here and get it done.
Well, right, and I'm not telling you that. I would just rather the amendment as it's already been forwarded go through the process. If county commission doesn't like the suggestion or they don't want it, they can throw out the resolution and we'll start over in planning and zoning with a brand new resolution.
I'm not.
They can say, like, we haven't had in a while in other areas, but they can say, this hadn't been to planning and zoning, we refer it back down. That's a county commission decision.
I think they can do that.
Yeah.
But Chairman, I'll do the best I can when I just.
Thank you for that.
Let me tell you what that's worth, Haskell.
Yeah.
I think you can do it the way Crystal put it.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion
Yeah.
on the floor with a second.
To amend the resolution, yes.
Well, we're not amending anything.
For a suggested amendment.
All those in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion will carry. I will subsequently follow that up. Now, do you want me to vote to approve the resolution or deny the resolution?
Forward the resolution.
I move we forward the resolution with a suggestion
There you go.
to the county commission.
And I second that.
We have a second by Mr. Turner and Mr. Renfro. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion will carry.
That was fun.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. There's another word for that, Mike. You done now?
I'm done with planning stuff. I do have one additional point, but yes.
Well, I understand we got a couple more things. We do have to open the floor up for public comment. State law mandates we do that. Do we have anyone here wishing to tell us anything?
He's already talked.
He's
Not to, but I'm good.
We're not begging. Okay, having that going forward. The first thing I want to do is recognize Eric Thompson. Eric has served on our committee for the past 8 years. This is his last meeting. And I just want to say thank you. You've been diligent. You've been here. You showed up, which is a big, big deal. You've took your job seriously, and you've done an excellent job, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
He will be, and I would like to open the floor up for Eric to say something if you wanted to.
I'd be glad to, yeah. First thing I want to do is thank the mayor who appointed me 8 years ago to this position. I will admit there were some meetings I wasn't too thankful that you had done that, but I do appreciate it. And I want to thank Christopher and his staff for their guidance. It's a tough job, and you don't really learn that unless you're involved some. They got a tough job, and I appreciate what they do. And I want to thank the commission members for their courtesy and professionalism that they have exhibited all through this since I've been here. And to the chairman for his leadership, very capable leadership. I appreciate that. And it's been an education. It certainly has. And I've enjoyed it. I would suggest that any new member that's appointed to this commission come in with an open mind and learn as much as they can and vote as objectively as possible for any future member, because it's a very important job and it's very important to the people of this county. And so I would add that to it. Other than that, I just want to thank you again, and it's been a privilege.
Thank you. Yes, sir, Mr. Hutto.
Thank you, Eric. Well, I begged him all I could to stay.
He wore out.
Yeah.
If you'd have been here instead of downstairs playing with Santa.
Those days in 6 days.
I understand. Christopher, I'm sorry, you wanted more.
Yeah, no, I was also going to thank Eric Thompson for his service. Kind of stole my thunder there. And then I just wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I don't plan on seeing any of y'all before then.
Same to you. I can't.
Want me to come by the office?
You hope not. I can tell you, Mayor Hutto has decided to replace Eric with Mr. Houston Neal, and he'll be here next month, I assume.
Sure.
Yeah, he was in the.
He got a real job, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And did we do all the plat affirmations?
We did, sir.
You voted that.
Well, I missed one in there, okay.
That's okay. You're done, Christopher?
I am, yes, sir.
Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you.